I support this guy. You know, I think that's what needs to be said. I don't know what anybody's writing or what anybody thinks, but this foot injury wasn't his fault. You know, this was a total accident. It really wasn't his fault, and it's a serious injury. I know some people are smarting at it, but it's really not a laughing matter. The guy was hurt. He was innocent. He didn't do anything wrong, and the helmet thing is a personal matter to him.
Oh, boy. All right, we've got a receiver on set, fortunately, who help us out here.
Yes, who's wearing a football helmet for a living.
Greg, just be careful here, but do you support Antonio Brown?
Whoo! I do. Oh. I do support Antonio Brown. And the reason why I support Antonio Brown is because he has a valid point. When it comes to the helmet and the equipment that you're wearing, you grow attached to what you put on that football field every single year, every single day at practice. And it's a level of comfort that you develop and that you have, whether it's shoulder pads, whether it's cleats, whether it's gloves, and specifically your headgear. It's probably the most important piece that you will put, a piece of equipment that you will place on your body. And for me, my headgear was very important. And the reason why I'm supporting Antonio Brown is because I had to go through this. I had to change my helmet out. When I first started playing from, I would say, 7th grade, I had the same helmet, same face mask, Rydell helmet, and then my last year in Green Bay, same make and model, okay. Same face mask, the whole 9. And then my last year in Green Bay, they say, well, you got to change to a different helmet. I believe we have the helmet that I had to change. Here's my helmet on the right. That was my original helmet, the vision that Antonio Brown is talking about. It's important. I didn't have the bars that were impeding what I felt like was my vision. You look at the helmet on the left is the one that I had to change into. The bars kind of jump out a little bit. When I look to the right or left, it was impeding the ball coming in. And then the face mask itself was a little longer. And so when I would turn to the right or to the left, it would hit my shoulder pads. That played with me mentally. And every day, matter of fact, this morning, before you guys walked up on this set, what was the last thing you possibly did? Looked in the mirror to see how you look. I'll answer it for you. You probably had to look at, yeah, you didn't.
Jason McIntyre was using mousse.
But you look in the mirror to see how you look, to see if everything is in alignment to you, and you feel good. You look good, you feel good, you play good. That is the staple in sport, in life, in what we do moving forward. When you look good, you feel good, you're going to perform.
Greg, you missed the key word.
Do we have the right picture of that? I thought your first helmet had 1 bar.
No,
is that
Rob,
is that
how
not
could
right?
a wide receiver talk for 5 minutes about the NFL helmet issue and not say the word safety once? That's the key thing here. The NFL's trying to protect these players.
No, I totally get that.
And safety is the #1 issue.
It is.
Look
now,
good, feel
it is
good.
now. It is now. And I get where the league is going. But you asked me, do I support Antonio Brown? And my answer, why, is because I've gone through this and I understand the importance of putting on a helmet for year after year, consecutive years, and having that comfort, and then moving to something that is not my norm. It was going to create a rift, and it did. I didn't stay with that helmet. I wore it 1 preseason game and got out of it.
But your point is well taken because you've been through it, and I think people are unfair to AB because of the other stuff.
Yes.
So they just right away they jump on him. Oh, look at this guy. Oh, what a mistake. Oh, he's a pain in the butt. No. Guys who have never put a helmet on are complaining about a guy, and you've been through it. I understand, like, a comfort and feeling something. So I'm with AB. I get it, and I understand what the league is doing as well, but that doesn't mean a player who's been in the league as long as he has and has had as much success is supposed to just order, oh, yeah, I'll pick this up and put it on, and it doesn't feel the same and not say anything about it. So I'm in support of it. I think people are being totally unfair to him. And we could go back to another time when they changed equipment. Here's another one. Do you remember when the NBA changed the basketball? Do you remember when David Stern changed
it? It was a big deal.
Okay? He changed it without the players' input. And even Tim Duncan complained that the basketball didn't feel right. You know what happened? They wound up changing it. And my point was just, it's not always bellyache. And sometimes, even though the league is trying to do the right thing, players are making points where you should think about it. And I don't know, were all the players involved in this new helmet that's supposed to be safer so that players can sign off on it? Do you know what I'm saying?
Guys, wait a minute. I don't want to be the voice of reason here. The NFL has approved 34 different helmets that are safe, that have been tested. 34. Antonio Brown went through all of them and said, nah, not good enough. I want my old helmet. To the point that he took his old helmet and painted it with the colors of the Raiders to make it look like he was wearing the new helmet. Guys, that is an embarrassment for Antonio Brown. I mean, 34 different helmets. In the meeting, you're painting
an embarrassment.
This is pathetic. He's
Come on, man.
Basically, you know what he's trying to do? He's like that kid who didn't want to do a book report, so he steals one and then changes a couple words and hands it in.
That's not the same.
He painted a Raiders helmet, Rob.
No, but the point is, it's about his own personal comfort. That's what it is. It's no big deal.
Clearly,
you're making it like he has some sort of magic helmet with a camera in the back, and he has some sort of.
That's what he's treating his own helmet like. It's not safe.
No, it's not. It's
the
about
league
what
has said
he's
it's not safe.
comfortable with.
All right, fine. You know what? If you're comfortable, you want to wear that helmet, the NFL will tell you, go ahead. You can wear the XFL. You're out of this league. You don't want to be played by the
Jason, that sounds
How many
crazy.
players are in the league that are wearing the correct helmet?
Let me.
Every single one except Antonio Brown.
Let me ask you this. So, on the road when you're driving, do you see all brand new cars?
No, I don't.
No, you see older model cars, correct?
Why is that?
That aren't as safe as the newer cars that everybody
Well,
says
if they
are
don't
safe.
pass inspection, they're not on the road.
Okay,
And that's the
but
case.
they're
with
still
this
not
helmet.
as
No. Let me explain something about the helmets. It's not that it's not passing inspection. It's not living up to what these other helmets are doing now. So the quality and the safety of this helmet that Antonio Brown is choosing to stay in is not as up to par as the others. But last year, it was okay, huh? The year before, it was still okay,
last 10 years has
So
been
now
okay.
all of a sudden, you know what, guys? Don't wear it. No, I get what the National Football League is doing. And credit to those guys because this is what you have to do to make sure you're protected in protecting that shield. But when guys have played in this league for as long as Antonio Brown, and this is not just an Antonio Brown issue. I had this issue. I played. Aaron Rodgers had to change.
Did you go to the hearing? Did you go that far?
No, I didn't go to the hearing.
You didn't go that far. Okay. Did
Tom Brady
go that far?
No.
Did Aaron Rodgers go that far?
That's the difference. That's the difference. That's where I'm like, okay, at some point, Antonio Brown is going to have to either conform or just do what he says he's going to do.
Or if he would have handled it a little different because everything that comes from him now is noise.
Yes.
So maybe if you do it without making a stink in public, you know what I mean? Like, I think maybe because he's just one of those guys who's a lightning rod. No matter, he could say he has a bad pinky toe and it's the end of the world. Oh, my God. No, you shouldn't have got that guy. He's terrible. He's got a pinky toe now or bad nail. All I'm saying is, don't pounce on a guy when he's talking about his own personal comfort. You don't know what it feels like to wear the helmet. He wouldn't be making us think. Seriously, Jason.
Exactly.
Just thinking about it. He wouldn't be making us think if it really didn't matter.
No one else is making this.
No, that's
doesn't
so
matter.
false. That's so false.
Yes.
Everyone.
Who's doing the hearing? Who's taking it this far?
To this extent,
Yeah,
no one has done this.
I get the complaining.
But everyone, the moment they're told, "Hey, we need to change your helmet," what? You're not touching my helmet.
I get that. That's fine.
No,
we're not.
Right.
That's fine.
It's because you become attached, and it's a comfort issue of where I feel best when I'm in this. So the jerseys that are different on game day. I remember walking in the locker room and seeing my jersey hanging up, and I'm like, what? This isn't my jersey. This isn't my game uniform. And I automatically, they needed to change it because for me, mentally, it was going to mess with me. It may sound small and minute to those who've never been on that playing surface.
You never threatened to retire if you couldn't wear that old jersey. That's what he's doing here. He's taking it to the hearing. Greg,
Jason,
I can't
you didn't buy that
understand how you're
story,
defending
did you,
him.
really?
What do you mean buy it? He took it to the hearing. He went that far. Greg never went that far. Tom Brady never went that far. Aaron Rodgers never went that far. This is ground that we haven't seen before in recent NFL years, have we?
No.
Am I missing the hearing?
But if just because someone before him didn't go that far doesn't mean that he doesn't have the option to go that far.
Because if you couldn't do it, there would be no hearing.
Like for him,
it's like people being mad that they're going to.
So the NFL comes back, Rob, and says, Antonio, you can't wear your old.
Then
helmet.
he'll eventually wind up having to wear something to play.
Good to hear.
But that doesn't mean that he can't have a stink before.
And this whole lawsuit
if this wasn't about all the other stuff, nobody would make it so seriously. You're carrying it like it's the end of the world.
Dude, what are you talking
like
about? There is a report, Rob, according to The Athletic, he is going to sue the league or could sue the league if he gets a head injury with the new helmet. We just read that.
He's making the point that he doesn't feel comfortable, and he's just putting it out there that if something happens to me wearing this helmet that I'm telling you I don't feel comfortable with. Now there's a lot that has to go on. This guy can wind up putting it on, and after 2 or 3 games, Greg, right, you just go, okay, this is it. I got to kind of deal with it.
Right.
And then things work out and you're catching touchdowns and you move on.
And let me add this layer. So he's 31 years old. He's supposed to be a leader. He's a veteran player, one of the best of his generation at receiver. The Raiders just had 3 first-round picks, okay? 3 rookies coming into the league. You walk in the locker room and this is what Antonio Brown's doing. He is leading with frostbite on his feet, and I'm not wearing this helmet? So I used the word embarrassment, and you didn't seem to like it.
No, I don't like it.
This is an awful look.
You know what the great look
Antonio Brown and the
is when
Raiders.
one of those rookie players looks at his stats over the last 10 years of season.
You love to talk about wins. What does he want?
About how great this guy is as a
regular
receiver.
season stats. 10 playoff games,
Stop it.
4 touchdowns for Antonio Brown. And I like him. He's a good player, but this guy's not a winner. He's not a leader by any stretch of the imagination.
I totally disagree with you because it's not just.
Oh,
does he
Rob,
does he have to get the football from somebody else, or does he throw it to himself?
Antonio Brown.
Does he throw it to himself?
He quit on his team.
Does he throw it to himself?
He walked out of practice because they didn't name him the team MVP. They gave it to Juju Smith. And Antonio Brown threw the football at Roethlisberger's feet. Go read the stories. Said, I'm out of here. Week 17 with the playoffs on the line. That's a leader?
Did they
That's
win
like
the
how
game?
You won your
Did
luck?
they make the playoffs?
They won the game. They did not make the playoffs.
So they weren't going to make the playoffs.
But he quit on his team.
Have you done cryotherapy before?
I have done cryotherapy, yes.
And so